Alright, look, in all honesty, folks, I had a little bit of whiskey on the rocks before playing this, just to ease the nerves, you know. It's been besides, this isn't drunk gaming, I'm not drunk at the moment, though drunk gaming does start this Sunday. Premieres, Season 2 premieres this Sunday. Of course, by the time I get around to posting this on YouTube, it'll like probably already be like maybe June of 2018 by the time you hear this little announcement. But yeah, anyway, that's happening. But yeah, I've been working on this project for about a year, at least this part of the project. The Hubpages thing I've been doing for about 2 years.
Not everybody knows the truth about this asshole. I've got more on my list, and they're gonna lead me to their handler.
Yeah, is one of them Kevin Spacey? Haha, topical. Of course, like I said, by the time you hear this joke, it'll probably be June of 2018. Yeah. Which is rare. I've said this before. It's kind of rare in Chicago to find a hill. You know, I mean, it's not Boston. It's not Baltimore. There's not, like, tons of hills everywhere leading up, you know, that you have to walk up. Or mountains, for that matter. It's just all flat land. I was a little freaked out by that first time I went to Chicago a couple years ago, and I was looking up State Street, and I could just see for miles. Everything kind of got hazy after a little bit from like how far away it was. Not that the hill near Dearborn Street is that big, but still, you know. Actually, no, it's probably for the best that I have had a drink before I started playing this, because really what I'm doing right now is I'm just going after all of these sex pest bidders that were at that auction in the last episode, and really don't have anything else to talk about while I'm doing it. Lucky you.
In the sky and get this over with.
Hey, let's not say we did. How about that? Let's just keep driving and then just handle these. You know, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like, when it comes to stopping criminals, I would think going after potential sex slavers would be like higher priority than some douchebag getting shot or something for a side story that I wasn't paying attention to in the first place. So, you know, take of that what you will. But I'm a high priority kind of thinker, so. Oh, shit! Got too close to him. God damn it! Not normally a socially awkward person, especially now with a couple drinks in me. I mean, one drink in me. I bet you one of those sports teams is probably the Patriots. This area right here is a good example of what I'm talking about, of how Chicago usually builds on top of its older stuff. I'm not sure the history behind... I've always wanted to know the history behind the tunnels of... Jesus. Anyway... Yeah, I always wanted to know the history, but where the hell am I going? But anyway, yeah, I always wanted to know the history behind those tunnels ever since I saw Code of Silence with Chuck Norris, which is a good movie, by the way. Fuck. Get out of my way! So, oh, this isn't very professional. But yeah, anyway, yeah, good movie. Had a car chase that occurred in, Hey, Navy Pier. Have I touched on Navy Pier yet? I know I did a mission here. But
Police are searching for another missing
I don't
woman.
know if I told you guys the story of Navy Pier, or at least when I went to Navy Pier. See, here's what happened. Back in July of 2015, I went to Chicago. And, I'm pretty sure I told you guys that I went there because of this girl that I knew at the time. Her name was Brittany. Forget her last name, but it's probably for the best that I forgot her last name.
What are you going to do?
Yep, hold on a second.
You're
Storyline.
a useless tit. Do you think if I show the court the giant file I have on just how big of a useless tit you are, that they won't applaud me? Want me to fire you? You seem like you're begging for it. There's no way I'm putting up with heat because of your incompetence. It's your department's fault there's been so many security breaches. How many times are you crying? What's that fucking snorting sound? You're a disgusting, useless tit.
What does this guy got against tits? Alright, hey, tits are a wonderful thing. You know? If it wasn't for tits, milk would not be a thing. And I know all you, like, vegan hipsters out there probably hate me for saying that, but... fuck, I'm trying to smoke a cigar, I can't... hold on, can I talk and smoke at the same time? Let me try something. Yeah, anyway... You fucking vegans out there, you guys get all pissed off about the whole almond milk thing. Okay, no, I can't. About the whole almond milk thing, but really, you know, milk from a cow is a wonderful thing. It really is. Without tits, they wouldn't have it. That guy, on the other hand, kind of reminds me of my former boss's boss, Tony, Evander Tony. Yeah, his name was Evander Tony, not Tony Evander, because that would make sense. No, his name was Evander Tony. He was the biggest fucking Uncle Tom you could ever meet at the Walters Art Museum. But he was a slick motherfucker. He was a slick one. He's one of those house guys that, you know, listens in on shit. You know, he's one of those. But seriously though, that guy was an asshole. And he used to kind of talk like that. Not to me, but he used to talk to this other guard that used to work at the Walters Art Museum. His name was George Wilkins. But yeah, he used to talk to George Wilkins like that all the time. He never used to call him a useless tit, though, which is kind of a double negative. I mean, there's no such thing as a useless tit. Like I said, tits are an important thing. And I don't mean like the fake ones that, like actual, the milk thing.
Daddy's been very busy. This isn't any fun around the house without you. Seems all I do is work, and more work. But it's good that you'll graduate soon. I need you to put my idiot staff in their place.
Oh, Dad.
When is your next school break? We can plan a trip, maybe.
I bet his private jet is stolen. Now that motherfucker right there, that actually looks like Chris Kunkel. I shit you not.
What I'm saying is...
Well, he wish he could look that good, but no, he does look like him though. Oh, swinger. Yeah, I'll take that. She's a swinger. She can get the money back from her baby's daddy or whatever. Car rental agent. Yeah, okay. Why not? But yeah, anyway, they're in Chicago. July 5th. That was July 4th, 2015. I went to Chicago, and Brittany insisted on going to the Navy Pier. Well, let me. Oh shit! Well, I did not do that. This car the car did that on itself. I'm telling you, the controls for this game are a little wonky. All right, let's go up to Pawnee. Let's get that out. Oh, no. Actually, no. Let's not do that. I'm pretty sure one of the briefcases are up there, so let's save him for last. Where's the next, Yeah, there we go. Anyway. So, went to Navy Pier. Made the mistake, I should say, of going to Navy Pier on July 4th, which is... one of the dumbest things I ever... Actually, it was Brittany's idea, but still, it was one of the dumbest things I've ever done. And, I'm just giving credit where it's due. I'm not placing blame. And, yeah, everybody and their mother was basically in Navy Pier. Alright? It was an absolute clusterfuck of problems going on at Navy Pier on 4th of July. I mean, it's such a touristy thing to do. You do not go to Navy Pier on 4th of July. You stay the hell away from there. There's 150,000 people on a stretch of land that's about, I don't know, a half, 3/4 of a mile long. I mean, no, don't do that. If you're gonna go do fireworks, do the sensible thing. Go somewhere where the people aren't, you know? Oh, Jesus. We were actually gonna eat there, but the wait was going to be like, I think they said like 5 hours. No, not 5. 5 hours, like 3.5 for a spot. I was like, what the shit is that? You know what we ended up doing? We ended up taking the water taxi to Grant Park and going to a hot dog stand. Now that's dinner right there. You know, you can get buffalo wings just about anywhere. I suppose in Buffalo, New York would probably be the best place to get them, but you can get buffalo wings just about anywhere. You can also get a hot dog just about anywhere, but the hot dogs they have in Chicago, you can't see the thing I did with my hand there. I did the Italian, like, amissimo thing there. They're delicious. They're friggin' great. But, you know, apart from that, Navy Pier ain't all that special. I mean, it's okay. You know, you get a closer look at the lighthouse that's out on the... But it's... You know... Chicago's a big town. There's much better places to go than Navy Pier. And I mean at any time of the year. But 4th of July, stay the hell away from it. Now this right here is supposed to be the Botanical Gardens, which I've never been there. Never been to the Botanical Gardens. Because they're actually like basically in Wisconsin. It's like a 4-hour drive away.
It's so exciting to think that I'll be dining with someone from Russian royalty. I don't know anything about Russia at all. I feel so embarrassed. Don't you adore our beautiful city? Have you been here before? How long do you plan on staying? Oh, goodness, I am prattling on. I am so sorry to keep you waiting, but this traffic is horrendous. Order drinks, Mr. Shenkov. I'll be there soon. The club has a top chef at the country club. He's even been on television. Have a look at the menu.
At least not yet. Of course, all the times I've ever been to Chicago, it's probably been not the best time to go, because I like to go in the fall. You know, I like to go in the spring. Yeah, it's okay to go in the spring. This time I went in June. Last time when I went there, I was only there for 2 days. You know, it's not. Half of that was sitting in the car in traffic, basically. So yeah, I mean, if you ever intend to drive out to Chicago, you better make it like a week thing, because you're probably going to spend at least 2 of those days during that week sitting in a car, waiting in traffic, trying to get around everywhere. Of course, you know what I did was what I did back in June of this year, 2017. What I did was I went out there because I wanted to see the Orioles play against the White Sox. That was the whole plan. The whole plan was just to go out to Chicago just to see a baseball game. And for all you assholes out there, yeah, that is a pretty damn American thing to do, I would say. Got my hand on my heart when I said it. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that patriotic. Anyway, what happened was, yeah, of course they lost. It's the White Sox. I mean, it's a home game. You know, the home team always seems to win. You know, but I'll give the Chicagoans credit for one thing. At least they're not like Yankees fans. They're not ultra competitive. They're actually very welcoming. Of course, you know, Orioles aren't the enemy team, but in this case they were. I mean, I was in enemy territory, so I mean, hey, you know. But yeah, very welcoming. But most of that trip was I went to Philadelphia first, and then I went to Chicago. No, then I went to Columbus. Not that impressed with Ohio. Sorry, Ohio, but you're boring as hell. There it is. I said it. I'm sorry. That's the case. But unfortunately, if you're driving to Chicago from the East Coast, sometimes you got to drive through Ohio to get to it. Indiana, too. Indiana, not as bad as Ohio. A little more welcoming than Ohio. Still just as boring. But not as much. Especially if you're a NASCAR fan. Which I'm not. Anyway. But yeah. I went to Columbus, then I went to Chicago, and I was only in Chicago for a couple days. Stayed at this little shitty motel called the Sharns Motel, which was in Worth, Illinois, wasn't even actually Chicago. And yeah, if you're gonna drive all the way the hell out to the Midwest, I would recommend actually staying in Chicago and not 15 miles outside of it. Thank you and fuck you equally, Booking.com. And don't be afraid of what the media tells you about South Side and the shootings and all this stuff. You know, you're fine in the summertime. Actually, avoid Chicago in general in the summertime. It gets really goddamn hot there. You know, June, January, May. Screw that town in those days. You know, November, great time of year to go. Still some leaves on the trees. There's still, you know, it's not too cold, not too hot. I would say trench coat weather, you know. Very lovely. Hey, stolen art dealer. Once again, reminds me of the Walters Art Museum. Now, let's see, where's the next... Ah, right here. Ah, hey, dude, this neighbor, speaking of that movie, Code of Silence, this neighborhood right here looks like the neighborhood in the beginning of that movie. I shit you not. This looks just like those two apartment buildings that the drug deal went down at. I forget the name of what this neighborhood here is supposed to be, but it's definitely part of the avenues.
I understand. However, given recent events, I would say he owes me. This is a prime location. With Rushmore agreeing to waive taxes, it's a good investment. There isn't a need to relocate these residents, and the area is practically abandoned. I await your report.
What the shit does this have to do with the sex slave thing that was going on there? This guy, even though he is black, he would be mugged the shit out of wearing a suit like that in this part of town. I'm just saying. So there you go. Plus, it looks like a pretty expensive phone that he's using. This is not a great place to have a call. Alright, really. Fuck? Whoa, what is this?
The blackout of 2003 was a warning.
Whoa!
Critical city infrastructure needs to reside in a demilitarized zone. 11 people died because the city gave away its control. A hacker demonstrated a flaw in the power grid. Hacker Raymond Kenny is a hero, not a villain. Chicago's CTOS is vulnerable. Citizens are vulnerable. Take back control.
Not sure if that's intentional or not. One thing that was a heartbreak about the June road trip, though, was I went to this one place. What the hell was the name of it? Scatchels. Scatchels? Yeah, Scatchels Beef and Pizza. Out in Cicero, Illinois. Which is like West End, Chicago. It's a suburb in Chicago. It's a little tiny town right off the outside of the city. Kind of like Brooklyn. You know, kind of like the area of Brooklyn here in Baltimore. It's a kind of a little rundown-ish area, except it's out to the west. Instead of the south. But actually, it's a lot nicer out there than Brooklyn and Baltimore is. Seriously, Brooklyn and Baltimore. Oh, no. No, but Cicero, Illinois. Cicero, Illinois? Anyway, it's on Cermak Road. Great little place. The only problem, at least the pizza's really good, but the sad thing is I tried to get one of their Italian beef sandwiches, but I didn't have a chance to eat it, and I put it in my cooler, and by the time I got back home, it was a sub, alright. It was a submersible underneath all the frozen ice that I had in the cooler. So it was basically unedible. Didn't have a chance to eat one of their sandwiches. But next time I head out to Chicago, God willing in April, I will definitely head back there and eat one of their sandwiches. Looking forward to it. Because an Italian beef sandwich isn't just like a Steakums sub, alright? This isn't like a Philly cheesesteak. It's a whole different thing. I guess the closest you could get to it is maybe a Quiznos sub. You know, those Quiznos subs where they have like the beef and it's like the sauce and all that. Except the ones out in Chicago, from what I hear, don't taste as pre-processed as the, you know, Quiznos ones do. Yeah, I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, like, why are you doing all of this? It's like, this is technically justice. I mean, this is like the closest we're going to get to hunting. I'm using bunny ears here. The closest we're going to get to hunting these sexual predator, human trafficker, slaver type assholes that we're gonna get. I would have preferred to, like, you know, do something more dextery and like chase after him, but I know that totally goes against the whole Aiden Pierce character. I get it. He's a hacker. You can destroy, you know, these people by putting this information out on the web so that the FBI can stop them and shit like that. But, you know, it's, call me old-fashioned, but baseball bat would be, you know, a lot more satisfying. Still, though, at least it's something. At least Ubisoft gives us the option to go after these guys somehow.
Calm down. Look, it's better that she didn't survive. I told you to take care of her, not take care of her. What was I gonna do? I didn't hear from you. Shit hit the fan. You pay me to watch your back, I'm watching your back. Unless you left evidence behind. You're in the clear. Lay low. Don't do anything stupid.
Good for you. Oh my God!
Hey, over here.
Criminal neutralized? Yeah, he's kind of neutralized. He just took a 45 to the face. I mean, that's pretty damn neutralized. What the hell? I mean, the other guy, I get unwanted violence. This, I get a neutralization. What the hell? Ah, okay. That's right. We already hacked all the people except for that guy in Pawnee. So everything else that's left is briefcases. One in the Loop, one in the Mad Mile. I thought for sure there would be one up here, but I guess I was wrong about that. I'm wrong every once in a while, I admit it. Not about the Patriots, though. I'm very much passionate about that. Then again, I don't hate them as much as I hate the Steelers. Yeah. Some days I kick myself for being single, and other days I'm, like right now, kind of happy that I am. Because it could be worse. You could have to go into Patriots or Steelers territory in order to visit in-laws. And if you are that kind of person, may God be with you. I can't believe I still got this shitty little Geo car that I got in... Yes, that I got in Burp. That's another name for the avenues that I got at Burp. I'm sure that's how a lot of New Yorkers describe where they're from. Hey, Jimmy, hey, I went to... Man, best seafood ever. Hey, speaking of seafood, crap, I totally forgot to mention it. That totally went against the whole point of this thingy. Yeah, the little seafood restaurant that we went to save, what was his name? Jake, Jack, Jimbo, the nephew kid. Yeah, that place, that is an actual place in real life. It doesn't look like that, but it does look like a ship. It's called Castaways. It's up near Montrose Harbor. No, not Montrose Harbor. North Avenue Beach. It's up at North Avenue Beach, which would in real life would be like... Well, yeah, actually it would be like right up there, except it would be like a little straighter than that. This kind of, like I said in an earlier video, probably like a year ago, they kind of curved this around to make it like a free roam boundary island type kind of place. But in real life, Chicago is like a just constant. There's no breaks except for the Chicago River. There's no breaks in anything. It's all. There's rivers, but there's not major bays and harbors and stuff like this. No, it's all one straight thing. And yeah, North Avenue Beach would be right around here. In fact, it would be right past where Navy Pier and the water processing plant is. And then this area here, I forget the name of the chick that this place is named after. I know I've said this in a video before, but there is a park and a little beach right there. But then just up the road is North Avenue Beach, where Castaways is. And then way further up, way further up, like way up, is up past Lincoln Park is where Montrose Harbor is, and that's also a beach up there. But I've never explored past there. I've never gone further north than there. So I'm pretty sure up there is where they used to film like the Bob Newhart show. That gives you like an idea of what I'm talking about. Probably doesn't, but you know, hey, it's the best example I got. Hey, there was also an episode of Early Edition. I don't know if you guys ever remembered that show called Early Edition with Kyle Chandler, guy from Bloodlines. Shit, yeah, Bloodlines. Great show, by the way. Anyway, that guy played on a show back in the 90s when I was a kid. It was called Early Edition, and it was about this dude named Gary who would get the paper a day early, and each episode was him trying to save whoever was in the paper. Anyway, there was this one really good episode with Louis Gossett Jr., who played a Vietnam veteran who was trying to commit suicide because he was like, you know, he was guilt-stricken by this girl that he killed during the war, and yeah, spoiler alert, but I don't think you can actually find this show anywhere because I don't know why CBS doesn't have it on their app, and I don't get why you can't find it anywhere. But yeah, it was a good episode. But there was a scene in the episode where he's by some lake. He's by the lakeside, but it's like a cement beach kind of setup. I think that was up past Montrose Harbor. I think that was up north of that. Might have been further down south. I don't know exactly what part of town they filmed it in. But that was also kind of where they no. Driving the cars are hard enough. I'm not getting on a motorcycle. But yeah, there was that scene was also kind of in that area because you could see the Bob Newhart apartments in the background where they filmed it. The whole reason he was there was he was going to blow his brains out with his old service pistol, and Gary shows up and stops him and tosses the gun in the lake. And you know, actually that'd be a great thing if all Chicagoans could do that. If they could just, you know, at least all the criminals, if they could just toss their pistols in the lake, that would save a lot of funeral costs, I bet. Like I said, the murder rate in Chicago isn't as bad as the media likes to make you think it is, but the murder rate, well, actually, yeah, the murder rate is pretty bad, but it's not the whole city that it occurs in. There are areas that are worse than others, and that's where all the killings take place. It's not every single section of Chicago. You know, one section of Chicago has a bad murder rate. Next thing you know, the whole city's like, oh, it's a doomed city. Don't go there. You'll die. You'll get killed. You know, that's a cliche. That's a fucking cliche when they do that. It's like when people talk about Baltimore and they go, oh yeah, The Wire. Now, being as a Baltimorean and growing up as a realist thinker, not a you know, negative Ned type kind of guy, though, you know, these days it is easy to be a negative, cynical asshole. But no, growing up in this city, I can tell you for a fact that it's not as bad, even in the black areas, it's not as bad as that show depicts. Hell, even some of the black, well, okay, yeah, Greenmount Avenue is pretty goddamn bad. But, you know, as long as you're not there after 5, you're okay. But, yeah, just like Baltimore, there are sections of Chicago that are pretty tense. But if you stay the hell away from them, you got nothing to worry about. Simple as that. That can be said for any city. Oh, the murder rate's high in Hartford, Connecticut. Yeah, okay. Well, stay out of the places where all the murders take place. You'll be alright.
Chicago police
Alright?
have issued a warrant for the vigilante, Aiden
Oh.
Pierce. However,
You know,
Chicago
Chester,
City
PA,
police are
it's got a really bad murder rate. Well, hey, here's a good idea. Don't go to Chester. Drive a little further north, go to Philly. Problem solved. Something's not right about this car. Okay, well, something's definitely not right now, but I mean, I'm talking about before that, there was something wrong with this car. Well, whatever the problem was, I think I fixed it. Don't feel like doing that right now. I'm going to do that when I get to the part of the story where I actually have to unlock the CTOS. So, you know what? Thank God for fast travel options. Let me get the hell out of here, back to civilization. And let's go do the next mission. Because I know by this point, God, it's been over an hour. You really want me to go do the next mission now. You're tired of me blah, 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 blah. And believe me, I'm tired of trying to, like, hack briefcases in place of killing sex predators. So, let's just go to the next mission, continue the storyline. They've been asking me, like, well, I mean, if you're doing Watchdogs, are you going to do Watchdogs 2? Or are you going to go to, you know, San Francisco? And I was like, I've said it before, I haven't gone to San Francisco yet. I want to go there at some point, mainly because of Nash Bridges, which was a great fucking TV show back in the 90s. Well, that's another show I wish you could find on Netflix, but you can't. You know, give it another 10 or 15 years, they'll start putting Early Edition and Hack and Nash Bridges and all these nostalgic, you know, hey, I was 10 years old at the time, I used to watch these every Friday type kind of shows. I still would love to see the remake of The Fugitive with Tim Daly. I can't find that anywhere. I never did get a chance to see the series finale of that. Or the season finale. I guess, well, it was the season finale at the time. They canceled it after 1 year. But, you know, hopefully, I'm hoping the writers had a chance to end it. You know. Probably not. I gotta Google that, actually. But no, anyway, getting back to what I was saying. People have been asking me if I even played Watch Dogs 2 yet. And I haven't played Watch Dogs 2 yet. I want to get this project done. I want to, you know, I want to get the Chicago thing. I want to get my article finished, and I want to get this series done before I even touch Watch Dogs 2. So, you know. Yeah, going in the back way. That's always a great way to enter a bar.
Gang violence is part of an impending war.
This is... no, I'm not going to say it, but I was going to say this might be like supposed to be one of those Chinatown bars, but this is definitely not Chinatown, even though Chinatown is in Southside Chicago. I did go to this little Korean karaoke place after like 12 o'clock one night when I was already wasted, and I go there, and it's just, it was like a nightclub kind of. Wow. There's a lot of places like that in Chinatown, actually.